Oh. 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 Hello. Mm. So the Holy Bible. Did I put a marker? No, maybe I should put a bookmark. Okay. Okay. So I had a few days ago, I started chapter 1. I got through it. And I think yesterday I got into chapter 2 a little bit, but I don't know if I got through it all. Chapter 1 has 25 verses, and these verses are like sentences. They're pretty short. Chapter 2 has 23. So isn't that nice? I like things short. To be short. my my leg's still hurting. It's not showing anything bruised, but it feels like it's bruised. Oh, I got medicine for it. I guess I should take my medicine now. I did earlier this morning, I think, if I can remember correctly. I got water down here. Calling. There we go. So see how chapter 2 goes. I recall that it starts to get into the good stuff, like Herod. Let's see. It's still in the birth of Jesus and the 3 wise men going to go see him. As the So it's the first Christmas. Now, when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, it's been simplified to Judea. Judea. Is there a country by that name? Judea. Oh, this phone is 55%. I could turn it on now. It's going to look up I know that there's some countries around Israel. There's, I think there's Judea. There's Syria, Lebanon. Isn't there a Judea? Anyway, it says here Bethlehem of Judea. Judea. How do you pronounce that? I'm going to pronounce it Judea, but isn't the physical location of where Bethlehem would be, isn't that pretty close to Jerusalem? And wouldn't that be in Israel? As Christians go visit Bethlehem, so besides Jerusalem, and I would say both of them are in Israel. Oh, and isn't there a country called Palestine? And it's run by Palestinians who are non-Christian, who are Muslims. Are they considered Arab Muslims or they're their own? Anyway, just questions, but I should shut up and keep reading. Avoid commenting. Okay, now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men, M-E-N, from the east to Jerusalem. Okay. Saying, so the first verse is a sentence, full stop, period. But then the second verse, it's saying, comma. So it's referring to Herod without saying, and Herod said. That's interesting. It would be considered incorrect in modern English. Effective writing, maybe style. Well, maybe just journalistic writing, maybe. Anyway, saying, comma. Oh, it capitalized where? That's interesting. It doesn't put quotes. It just says saying, comma, and then in capital, the first letter capitalized. The word where is capitalized. The first letter of where is capitalized. Saying. So this sentence in verse 2 goes like this: saying, comma, where is he that is born King of the Jews? Question mark. For, the word for is lowercase. That's interesting. Well, it makes sense now because I would have said, where is he that is born King of the Jews, comma, for we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him. Oh, there I'm confused. I blew it. I was assuming that Herod was talking, but it was the three wise men talking to Herod. Oh no, Herod's not there yet. I'm totally confusing myself. It says in the days of Herod the king. That doesn't mean that Herod is listening to the three wise men. It just so happens that it's in the days of Herod the king, to give us an idea that Herod the king was the king at that time. the king of whatever the boundary was marked to be governed by Herod. I think Herod was probably a governor. No, Pontius Pilate would be considered the governor. And well, they had a Roman governor. Maybe it wasn't Pontius Pilate at this time. It was someone else, unless the Roman Empire hadn't taken over the land that is called Judea, which is probably now, which maybe at that time covered a lot of land, including what is today known as Israel. But I'm just thinking out loud, or trying to make sense of it. So excuse me. We'll figure it out. Or now that I'm raising these questions, I'll look it up later. Okay, so now when Jesus was born, let me go back to the first verse. I may never get through these 23 verses. Now, when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, I made a mistake. There is not a period. There is a comma. The print is so small. So bear with me. Maybe I should get a bigger King James version. Or maybe I got this version in Kindle. So I'll go check Kindle and I can make the letters as big as I want. It might be a King James version online, and then I can make the letters as big as I want. So bear with me. Thank you for your patience. So I got my phone, this phone, that's another phone that's recording me, but I got this phone. It's pretty good. Oh, okay. So what I was going to do is go over to Kindle. I got, oh, I can't handle it. Careful. I got Kindle over here somewhere. There you go. There's Kindle. Mm-hmm. Oh, I haven't signed into this Kindle. It's in synchronizing my account. Oh man, it's signed in automatically. I think maybe I had it signed in, but it looked like it was signed out because I haven't used it in a while. Hmm. Okay, so I'm going to. It's still loading. Well, it's loading recommendations. Maybe I could go to my library, and then I can go in the search and look for Bible, because I may have several versions. And several books on the Bible. I had this phone shut down and turn it on, so I'm getting a lot of notifications of friends that are not really friends. They're friends trying to be friends with them. Let's see. there's the results of Kindle. Results of my library. Let's see, the Bible and the Bible, the Holy Bible formatted. Oh, that's standard American. Wait a minute. What's this? Okay, I got some other books on the Bible. The studying. I guess I don't have the. No, look. Here's Holy Bible, King James Version. Okay. Why am I choosing King James Version? Oh, it's got it's got its style. It's different from everyday English, I guess. It's still pretty popular, isn't it? Hmm. No, it's showing the overview. I'm gonna add it to list maybe, add to wish list. Okay, so I have to go to my. It looks like I have to go to my. Hmm, bear with me. I have to go to my. Oh, wait, where's my Amazon app? Amazon store, and then go to the wish list, and then add it. Add it. Okay. Mhm. Let's see if I can go to my wish list. Hmm. 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 Okay, so lists. Is this it? Yes, I got the app set up in Spanish. So it says listas instead of list or instead of wish lists. Okay, so here it is. I found it. So let's see. Okay, I'm gonna see how do I buy it? Hmm. Oh shit, I can't buy it in the app. It's crazy. I have to go to the website. That was that's the app to buy things, and I can't buy the Kindle version in that app. So I have to go to Amazon.com. Amazing. Used to be able to, I think. So there it is. At least it. The Bible Kindle edition. It's got 953 reviews. Buy with one click. Let's see. It's $3.28. All right, I bought it. So now I go to Kindle. There it is. I go. No, no, that's Bible. Let's see. Let's go back. Holy Bible, King James Version. It's is it? Yeah, it's getting downloaded, and it's downloaded. So now I can open it. There we go. Holy Bible. Oh, what? I got an error message. Elimine contenido del dispositivo y oh, okay. For some reason, I have to re-download it. Maybe it doesn't like the way my system settings are. Let's see if I can open it. Okay. Okay. So, see, I got it in in a black background and white foreground. So now I'm going to slide this slider. It's moving across pages, and I go to about 20%, and that should be Matthew. Yeah, I see Matthew. Matthew 12, Matthew 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. There it is. Yeah, yeah, now. And yet I can change the size of the print, right? I can go here and hit the letter A and small a, and I can slide it like this to the bigger size. Right there. That's good enough. Hmm. And I can set word wise. Hmm. Okay, so I'm at 76% of the Bible, and I'm showing Matthew chapter 2, verse 1. I gotta read it again. Now, wait a minute. Let's see if it's the same. Yeah, looks the same. Now, when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, wait a minute. Is there a behold there? Yeah. Behold, as it's thinking, comma, behold, comma, there came wise men, M-E-N, from the east to Jerusalem, comma, verse 2, saying, comma, where is he that is born King of the Jews? question mark. For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him, period. Now, can you see it now? Okay, so when they arrive in Jerusalem, they're going around information centers and asking, we are the wise man from the east. I was wondering where we could locate a so-called child born king of the Jews. So we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him. So perhaps the star was a drone that kind of stood up there. And so they sent messages to the three wise men. They're wise because they have all these mental capabilities, like they have telepathy. And they're able to receive electromagnetic messages. So the drone was sending them electromagnetic messages, and they understood that it was we're supposed to follow the drone. So the drone moved, and the drone gave them time to get ready. And so, are you guys ready? Okay, yes. Okay, follow me. Okay, we just go there. Okay, so they kind of kept far enough ahead of the three wise men so that they knew, okay, we got to go in that direction. Okay, so it took them many months to get to Jerusalem. Where they came from, it doesn't say. Maybe they came from Babylonia. That's kind of east. Babylonia is Iraq. Maybe they came from Persia. That's way farther east. Maybe they came from India. Maybe they came from Tibet. Maybe they. Anyway, maybe they came all the way from China. That's pretty far east. But anyway, and when they got there, how did they know how to speak? They came to Jerusalem, which has Aramaic, and these guys from the east, they would have to know Aramaic, or if they didn't, they had to get translators to hey, tell them, where can we find the baby that's born recently? That's supposedly known as King of the Jews. It's been I don't know where we got that idea that he's King of the Jews. They came from the east, asking, where is this baby born King of the Jews? Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him. Okay, so he's born King of the Jews. He's born King of the Jews. That could mean that he's born Messiah, because the word Messiah could be translated as King of the Jews. Well, I think I saw that in Wikipedia. So when I looked up Messiah, okay. Anyway, when let's go on and read the third verse. When Herod the king had heard these things. So word spread quickly, as if maybe people, maybe this society was authoritarian, uh, and uh, and being that he's king, he had to make people be gossipy. So and be paranoid. And so by word of mouth, it got to Herod the king. So when Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. What? He was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. What the hell? What does that mean? Does that mean that all Jerusalem was also troubled? I guess when he gets it troubled, then he's he's gets very angry, and so that anger kind of spreads. It's kind of what is it? Contagious. So he got angry. His court attendants got angry, and then these court attendants would go to their families and get angry at their wives and kids, and so they'd get angry. Like their kids would go to school and they'd get angry, and this anger spread in schools, and so all of Jerusalem got became troubled from this rumor that the three wise men had come to Jerusalem and had asked, "Where is he born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him." And okay, verse 4. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born. And they said unto him, well, after reviewing their sacred literature, they spotted an area that predicted that he would be born in Bethlehem, because they say unto him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet." Oh, but it doesn't say what prophet. It just says by the prophet, comma. And verse 6, "And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah." It changed from Judea to the land of Judah. Oh, maybe the word Judea suggests that it is already a land. And so another way of saying Judea is saying the land of Judah. So also they're kind of quoting their literature by saying, "It is written by the prophet, and thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel." Well, so much for ruling Israel. This king of the Jews got murdered. So these prophets are a failure. They failed to predict who the governor would be for the people in Israel. But maybe it's the governor Netanyahu. He's governing Israel now, so maybe he is the king of the Jews. Then their prophecy would be valid, would have been what do you call it when you make a prophecy and it comes true? Hmm. Is there a word for that? I was looking for it, but it didn't come up in my glossary, my mental glossary. Uh, Connecting words and trying to find one, but no, I couldn't find one in my mental glossary. Verse 7. Then Herod, when he had privately called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. You mean Herod called upon the wise men and asked them what time the star appears? And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child. And ye have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also. Mm. So the three wise men were so wise they could detect something's fishy. Why would this king want to worship a child that has been proclaimed as king of the Jews when Herod is the king of the Jews? Well, he was somehow put in position to be king of the Jews. Oh, excuse for my dramatization and commentary. But it came to mind. And so he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child. And when you have found him, bring me word again that I may come and worship him. Verse 9, when they had heard the king, they departed. They heard that and then they said, let's get out of here. They didn't say, sure thing, boss. Yes, we shall do that. No, they just left. And lo, the star, which they saw in the east, went before them. That's the drone. Mm. Yeah, yes, it wasn't any kind of technology that we use. They use a different kind of technology for their drones. They called it a star because it looked like a star, but it is kind of a drone-like device. Mm. When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star, which they saw in the east, went before them till it came and stood over where the young child was. That's pretty good technology. It's like it was using GPS or something. But they would have to had satellites, but they didn't have that. So how did they? What kind of technology was this? When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. That's verse 10. And when they were come into the house, a house. I thought he was in a manger. And when they come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down. Oh my gosh! They go poof, poof, poof. No, mate, they got down and prostrated. That's a Eastern kind of thing to do. So they prostrated. They fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. There's the gifts. No, it wasn't that. It was these gifts: gold and frankincense and myrrh. Are you going to Bethlehem? Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. It doesn't sound right, does it? And being warned of God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way. Oh, so they were warned by God in a dream. So that goes to my my premise for a new science fiction novel that I proposed that maybe we could write, or I could put it out there. Maybe somebody will write it for me. And hopefully I'll get a little bit of credit. But here's how it goes. Maybe things, other science fiction works are similar to this, but here's how mine goes. So there are people that have such advanced technology. Maybe they're in the future, or maybe they're now already here. But so if they're in the future, maybe they still keep it secret from the people around them. But basically they go to their past and they inject themselves into the minds of key people in order to get them to do something else. So then you could say, then why didn't they inject themselves to prevent Hitler from taking over Germany and going in all directions to take over as much of Europe as he could, and then put people away that he didn't like, that the German people didn't like the Jews, and the Holocaust. So it's pretty horrible. Why aren't they in the future doing something about that? So that's interesting. Maybe they will do that in another iteration, but then that would change things. So maybe they've decided not to do that for political reasons, because they figured that it all worked out. So they injected ideas into key people. Maybe they injected ideas into Alan Turing to help to inspire him to work on breaking the Enigma code, the German code. I don't know if they actually gave him the the clues. Maybe they did, or maybe they just inspired him. Maybe Alan Turing was simply a genius and smart enough to figure it out himself. But they got it done somehow. so and then in this case, they injected themselves into the three wise men. Was it three? Does it say that's three? Let's see. Let's go back. No, it just says there came wise men from the east. It doesn't say how many. Oh. And they got warned. So what I'm saying is, in this science fiction novel, these wise people from the future inject themselves into the minds of the wise man from the east in the form of dreams. And so, and they were warned, but these wise men interpreted that key moment as having had dreams, having had a dream. I wonder if all three of them dreamed the same dream, or maybe they only needed one person to dream it. I guess they had the one that the others would trust the most. Oh, it didn't have to be the leader of the crew, but it would be someone that said, "Oh yes, wow, he certainly had a dream, and it certainly was a dream from God, a message from God in that dream." So they were warned in a dream. I don't. Here's how it's written: and being warned of God in a dream, shouldn't it be? And being warned by God in a dream that they should not return to Herod. But I think I understand what happened. One of them, at least one of them, had a dream, and he interpreted. I'm assuming it's a he. Well, yes, it says men. So I'm assuming it was all male men, male humans. So one of them had a dream, and in that dream, the character in the dream, the character say, I am the Lord your God. You shall listen to me, and you shall get out of town and disobey Herod the king. Don't ask me why, but that's what you got to do. Okay, so you should get out of town another way, a way that they won't notice that you got out of town. So they were warned in a dream where a character that they identified as being God, that character might have not even said that I am God, but he appeared, and that character was able to convince them that they should not return to Herod, but should depart in another way and go home to their country. So that's verse 12. So, but look what happened next. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeareth to Joseph in a dream, This time it wasn't God, it was an angel of the Lord. Maybe it's always angels, because man, that's a lot of work for God to go in here and there and there. So he just sends out angels. But actually, these angels are the people from the far future. Because what happens is they don't do it. And those things go wrong. So in the future they say, oh, this iteration of our present didn't go right. So we'll go to the past and insert our message to key persons so that in the future, which for them is their present, will have changed just enough to make things better. So, because otherwise, supposing they had not warned the wise man to depart another way. What if they had not disobeyed Herod, but instead had told Herod that they know where the child is? So now, just go. They're at the inn just outside Bethlehem on Highway 61, in the corner of Highway 61 and Jones Street or whatever. So they didn't do that. They just didn't report to Herod. So Herod was pretty pissed off, I imagine. Wouldn't you be, when you tell these three wise men to come back and tell me where the king of the Jews is? So, but let's say that these people from the future did not insert themselves into the minds of these wise men and tell them to avoid going to see Herod. What if they hadn't done that? Then these three wise men would have gone to see Herod, and they would have told Herod where the baby, the baby was located, and then what would have happened? So Herod would have gone over there and would have killed Jesus right off, and so all of Christianity would have never happened. Hey, that might have been a good idea. But see, they let that go by, so that prevented Christianity from happening. But they wanted Christianity to happen, so they in the future came to the past and created a dream where they were warned not to go back to Herod. And that little key moment in history allowed Christianity to happen. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened, and we wouldn't have Catholicism and Protestantism and the Crusades. We wouldn't have even had Islam. We wouldn't have these wars between Arabs and Jews, the conflict between Israel and Hamas. So think about that. They would say, damn, that was a stupid thing we did. So they've been kind of fixing things all along. Like saying, okay, now let's go to fix the thing that didn't turn out so well in this moment in history. Let's say in 1492. Let's go and help Queen Elizabeth kick out the Moors in Spain, and so they inserted ideas into Queen Elizabeth that helped champion her cause. That helped, and also she sent Christopher Columbus to on the ocean blue to find America in 1492. So that's so. What do you think of that idea for a science fiction novel? That there's people that know how to go to the past and insert themselves in the form of dreams, maybe as angels. Because here in verse 13, and when they were departed, that is, when the three wise men left the scene, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, arise and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. Wow. So they had to insert a dream into Joseph to also get him out of the country. So, because they didn't have technology they didn't have the internet at that time to find out what's going on and what the king was up to. So they would have been sitting ducks, or they would have been easy kill for Herod. So that's why the people in the future went to the past. And the past in this case was when Jesus was a young child, and they inserted their ideas into key people, in this case into the wise man, and then and also into, soon afterwards, into the mind of Joseph. They had him have a dream, and in the dream they made it appear to him that he got a message from an angel of the Lord. They always choose what's appropriate for that person's belief system. So in this case, Joseph believed in angels would appear to him. So he had Joseph believe that they were angels. An angel of the Lord appeared and say, arise and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. So that's a pretty good warning, because the following day, when he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night. When he arose from the dream, right then and there that night, he didn't waste time. So he got packing and got on his truck, a donkey, and departed into Egypt. And it took him 40 days and 40 nights. No, I don't know. I'm guessing several weeks. And they hung out there until the death of Herod. So they were there. So it says, and was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, out of Egypt have I called my son. Well, that's kind of lame. Some prophet said, out of Egypt I have called my son. It doesn't, the prophet doesn't say, give details. Well, I guess if the prophet gave too many details, then the people would say, this is ridiculous. And then, when it was time for it to happen, then they said, we're going to go against what the prophet says, so it won't be fulfilled. Oh, there's the word I was looking for, fulfilled. When a prophet prophesizes something, and when it happens, it becomes fulfilled. So anyway, so I get the idea that Matthew is bringing in all the evidence that connects what happened to what the prophets were saying, or what's in their literature. And then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked, he was mocked of the wise man. Oh, so Herod figured out these wise men, they did it on purpose. They didn't report to me. They just left without telling me where the kid was. And I've been waiting all this time and I haven't found the kid. The kid is probably 10 years old by now. I'm tired of looking for the kid. I think I'll just die. So Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise man, I would say mocked by the wise man, but this is mocked of the wise man, was exceeding wroth. Wroth, Worth, exceeding, I would say was exceedingly wroth. I'm correcting the grammar of the King James Version of the Bible. And sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem and in all the coasts thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise man. So he was guessing that Jesus was 2 years old or under. So he figured, if I have all the kids that are 2 years old or under, if all of them are killed, then I will be assured that I would have eliminated that one who was proclaimed. I don't know who proclaims them, but maybe the Jews themselves, maybe the prophets, or maybe it was a rumor. So that there would be someone, there would be the king of the Jews, or maybe there were several possible kings of the Jews at this time. Let me read that again. Verse 16. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceeding wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem and in all the coasts thereof. Coasts from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise man. Then, and that's verse 16. Now, verse 17. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremy the prophet, saying, in Ramah was there a voice heard, lamentation and weeping, in great mourning. Rachel weeping for her children, they would not be comforted, because they are not. But when Herod was dead, wait a minute. So Jeremy the prophet saying, in Ramah was there a voice heard, lamentation and weeping, in great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children, and would not be comforted because they are not. Oh, so Jeremy the prophet is saying that there were a lot of lamentation and weeping and great mourning because children were being killed. Rachel weeping for her children. They would not be comforted because they are not. That's kind of lame prophecy. It doesn't say, okay, in the future, around the time of Herod the king, he would decide to kill all the kids 2 years and under. No, it just says there was lamentation and weeping and great mourning. And Rachel was weeping for her children. And she would not be comforted because they are not. Well, because they're dead, I guess. So this prophet Jeremy says that a mother was weeping because she'd lost her children. So you call that a prophecy? Okay, sorry. Okay, verse 19. But when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Lord appeareth in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother and go into the land of Israel, for they are dead which sought the young child's life. And he arose and took the young child and his mother and came into the land of Israel. But when he heard that Archelaus did reign in Judea in the room of his father Herod, he was afraid to go thither. Notwithstanding, being warned of God in a dream, he turned aside into the parts of Galilee. And he came and dwelt in a city called Nazareth, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophets. He shall be called a Nazarene. So the prophets were saying, this guy's going to be a Nazarene. Yes, he's going to become our king, and he'll become from the land of Nazareth. So that would be the prediction spoken by the prophets. But that's lame. It doesn't say which prophet. It just says prophets. So you got all these different prophets saying the same thing, or what? Okay, so that's verse 23, the last verse of chapter 2. I got through chapter 3 amazingly. Are you happy? Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy. I'm glad that it's over. That this that I can stop now. And proudly say I got through 2 chapters of Matthew. It took a while. It probably could have been done in 3 or 4 minutes, but it took me what, 20 or 30 minutes? How long have I been running this? Does it say? Oh, an hour. Wow, that's pretty bad. Okay, so thanks for joining me in this adventure to go through the 4 books of the gospel, the New Testament gospels, the 4 gospels. It's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So I started with Matthew. And how many chapters does Matthew have? I can use this one to get an idea. Oh man, Matthew is pretty long. Oh boy. Okay. It's got 28 chapters. And then Mark starts. 17 pages, but this is a small print. And so that's how much I have to get through Matthew. And that's all of the New Testament, unless there's something in the very back. Revelations, oh my gosh. And this is all of the Old Testament. Oh my gosh. It's too much to read. But I got through 2 chapters of Matthew. It feels like I just touched the tip of the iceberg and I got 99% to go. And I feel insignificant. I feel I haven't learned anything. There's no wisdom here so far. It's a little dramatic and it's suspenseful. Suspenseful. What will come next? Okay, so thanks again. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something from it, and I hope to see you next time when we read together. When I read through chapter 3 of the Gospel of Matthew, will be next. Maybe tomorrow. Let's see how it goes.